Taylor and Hunley, I'm conflicted on this. There's a really great portion of this that establishes a prosecutor and public defender scholarship fund. It doesn't fund it, but it does provide, the establishment of it, which I do think is an incredibly an important thing for us to have, particularly right now when we do have a lawyer shortage, particularly in the public sector. There are aspects of this, though, that I do have issues with. The zoning language that's still in there is very problematic. I just want to point you guys' attention to one of these things. Last time I was talking about this bill, I didn't get visual enough, and so I wanted to kind of point out why I think that this is such a serious issue. I think the point that Senator Rotz actually had made was, if you just allow a school to open up in any district, if it opens up in a bad district like a brownfield, or it opens up in a bad district that is got sexually oriented businesses or trucking or whatever else around it, because it's allowed to, because it's a permitted use and there's no requirement that they go through any type of local procedure. There's no requirement that they take any of the recommendations of the local zoning board or the building commissioner. People just won't go to school there. And I can tell you, in places where they are hungry for good schools, which is the purpose of charter schools in the first place, they will send their kids there, despite the fact that it's probably not in a good location and should be located somewhere else. This right here is a public charter school located right here on Highway 20. This right here, not even, I'd say probably one or two buildings down, this is a strip club. Trucking, 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 strip club, trucking, 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 adult bookstore, strip club. Now, this was a decision that was made, but whether it was a good decision or not, but what that means is that ultimately this would be allowed without any say from the locals, from your communities, whether or not that's a good idea. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I begged of you not to do. So that is a major issue for me, and I think it should be an issue for you. Oftentimes, this is a long session and a lot of this stuff gets buried in the details, but that is something that I really think you need to understand. The other aspect of this is the establishment of private police departments, which I also have a problem with. I think when this language originally came up, there was the concern that, well, why would we allow schools, and it didn't matter if they were public or private, to open up police departments? We're talking about schools that, probably are short on cash right now. So who's going to have money for schools? Well, if we're talking now only about private schools, then we're getting into it. So we have, this potential expansion of universal vouchers. You're talking about schools that can up their tuition however much they want, receive vouchers, and now use taxpayer dollars to create police departments for private schools. I do not, and I cannot fathom a situation in which we are giving more money to private schools in order for them to establish police departments while other public schools are struggling in your districts. I'm looking at this and weighing these things, and I'm going, man, there's some things I like about this bill, but the bad really outweigh the good. So I think I've made my decision as I've sat up here and talked about it. I can't support this bill.
Thank you, Senator.